Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Governor Youngkin. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah,
Good.
thank you so much. I know you don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna get on with this and then let you get on with your day. So I appreciate your time though. Um, well, you were talking a little bit yesterday about Operation Ceasefire, and I know that a lot of the cities involved in this initiative have seen a drop in crimes in their areas. What do you credit with its success?
Well, first of all, just a clear statement that we back the blue and that we're going to work on a collaborative basis in order to stop violent crime. That's so important. And second of all, we have brought together federal, state, and local resources in a way that has never been done before. And finally, it's worked. And guess what? When you bring resources and a focus on arresting the bad criminals and then prosecuting them, crime goes down. And we saw a 34% decrease in murder rate just year over year by the work that's gone on in these 13 Operation Bold Blue Line ceasefire cities, would have been the most violent cities across Virginia. It works. Virginia is safer, and we have a bold blue line in Virginia that is keeping Virginians safe.
All right, I want to ask you, Donald Trump has been saying, during his campaign that across the country crime is up. But here we have these numbers from Virginia. We're seeing numbers from big cities like Seattle and Atlanta saying some of their crime numbers are down. What do you say to him when you can present these numbers from Virginia that we're seeing a drop in crime?
Well, I can't speak for other states, and I did see overnight that the FBI did revise all of their crime data for 2022 from having national data that had crime going down to really recognizing today that across the country crime has gone up, violent crime has gone up, but not in Virginia. And I think in Virginia it has everything to do with these initiatives, with the fact that we have backed the blue, that we no longer demean and demoralize them, that we've brought record resources to pay them and equip them and train them. And most importantly, they know that when they arrest someone, that through our attorney general's work on Operation Ceasefire, they will be prosecuted and they will be put away. Listen, at the end of the day, we know that a small number, less than 5% of the criminals in Virginia are doing over 50% of the violent crime. So we have to arrest these people, prosecute them, and make sure they're not on the streets.
All right, I want to ask you something else here. In August, you signed an executive order to remove non-citizens from voter rolls. Give me your reaction to the Department of Justice suing and trying to stop Virginia from doing that.
Yeah, it's an unprecedented step by the Justice Department to say that when we have someone who is self-identified as a non-citizen, that we can't take them off the voter rolls. They're wrong. It's constitutional, both at the national level and the state level. We have state law that's been in place since 2006, a bill that was signed by then Democrat Governor Tim Kaine, and it's been applied ever since. And so the Justice Department is wrong. And when someone identifies individually that they are a non-citizen, we should go through the process that we have, notify them. We give them 14 days to affirm that they are a citizen if there has been a mistake. And if they are not able to affirm that they're a citizen, they should be removed from the voter rolls. I stand by what we've been doing. I think the Justice Department is wrong. Elections in Virginia will be safe, accurate, and secure, and I will continue to make sure they are so.
Is 14 days, though, enough time for somebody who maybe English is a struggle for them or they don't understand the letter that they're getting? Is removing one person who is eligible to vote by accident, however it may happen, one too many?
Well, there's a final fail-safe in Virginia, which is you can walk up to your registrar and same-day register and same-day vote. And so there were multiple fail-safes here for folks who are citizens who want to vote. And I remind everyone that if you are an American citizen, go vote. And if you haven't had a chance to register because the registration process passed this week, you can still go to your registrar locally and same-day register and vote. There are multiple fail-safes here. And at the bottom line, I think it's incredulous to me that we have a Justice Department that is saying that when someone self-identifies as a non-citizen, that in fact we should not go through a process of removing that person from the voting roll after giving them multiple opportunities to affirm that they are a citizen. This is constitutionally accurate. It is consistent with state law. And I stand by our ability to have done that all the way up until the beginning of this week, where in fact by state law, we've stopped doing it.
All right, because a lot of people are saying this was so close. This was not, there's this 90-day window where you can't make changes to the federal voting rolls. So, a lot of people say, why so close? Why were we cutting it this close?
Well, that's an inaccurate statement because that is a systematic culling of voter rolls, and this is an individualized response to someone who is self-identifying as a non-citizen. And I still can't understand the argument where anybody could possibly suggest that a person who walks into a DMV and says, I am not a US citizen, but they end up on the voter rolls either by accident or by purpose, should be allowed to vote in a US election for president. It just doesn't make any sense to anybody, and common sense will prevail here, that if someone on an individualized basis, not a systematic basis, says I'm a non-citizen, they should be removed from the voter rolls.
All right. The Washington Post study also did review voter roll records and interviews with state election officials and found no evidence of anybody who is a non-citizen trying to vote during your term in Virginia. What do you say to that?
I think it's an inaccurate article, and it misrepresents what's been happening. And in fact, we have seen just in the last month in Arlington County, in Fairfax County, and in Loudoun County, absolute circumstances where they have removed people from voter rolls and they have referred them to prosecution for voting. And so I don't know where the Washington Post got their information, but it is not consistent with what is being reported directly at the county level. And it has happened. And that's why we need to make sure that we're following our law that says if someone self-identifies as a non-citizen, I do not have the right to vote in the United States because I'm a non-citizen, but I'm on the voter roll, we should remove them.
Do you anticipate a court date to decide this before the election?
I don't know any specifics yet. What I do know is that I stand by our ability to do this. And our legal position is strong. And most importantly, it's common sense and constitutional. And therefore, I think Virginia has historically and continues to abide by the law and the Constitution. And that is something that I will stand for every day of the week.
All right, Governor Youngkin, I know you have a busy morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and have a great day.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.